Hip hop to the core, boom baptized.
So what's good, Rose? You rocking with Boom Baptism?
Peace, brother. Peace, brother. Another good day.
Yeah, that's
Enjoying
what's
life.
up. That's
You
what's
know
up.
what I
Yeah, yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up.
mean?
So, yo, we gonna start this interview. So, how did you get the name Rozewood?
I took the name. Basically, I got that name from the town that was basically slaughtered. You know what I'm saying? Like I took that name because just when I saw it, I thought it was powerful when I was younger. It always felt like it represented something. You know what I mean? That people should always like be reminded of at some point. You know, and I showed it to Rose, but that was a name that I stuck with after many other names before that. Not the one that seemed to just mean the most to me, so I just stuck to it, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, uh-huh.
So, where are you from?
I'm from Long Island. I'm from New York. I'm from Amityville, Long Island, or Harborville, as we would call it out there. Born and raised. I live in different parts of LI. Lived in Atlanta. You know, I've been a bunch of places, man, but that's home. Definitely from Long Island, Amityville, New York.
That's what it is. Yeah, I'm originally from Hempstead, raised in Freeport.
Yeah, Hush is from Hempstead, too.
Right. Him is Smooth, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's I spend a lot of time over there too, Terrace Ave, all that.
Right. Okay, that's what's up. So, why the move to Cali?
I moved to Cali, man. I was living in Atlanta for a while, and I think I kind of ran through their whole underground scene, and it was time to, try another challenge. Hush came out here, and I was just at the point where I kind of, generally I just needed something new, as far as music, and I came out, and it's been good, man. It's been a lot more progress. I think everything kind of just went into hyperspeed once we came out to California. Like, the people we was able to meet and conduct with, and everything just seemed to move forward. But California's been a good decision to come out here.
Right. So, how did hip hop start for you?
Hip hop started when I was younger. My mom was a real hip hop fan. My uncle, rest in peace. My mom gave me a Illmatic. She had Illmatic tape, The Tribe, and all that. I used to listen to her tapes, man. And I think after a while, once I got the Illmatic tape, I think I kind of felt like I wanted to do that. But I was always bred to music. Me and my mother still talk about hip hop like two friends. You know what I mean? Like she's up, current and stuff and old stuff. She's definitely abreast with the music. So that was one of the people that got me into it. My uncle used to play it, but my mom used to kind of, when she seen I was really into it and I could write, she kind of liked what she was hearing. She always would push me to keep at it. Her and my grandmother as well too.
Oh, yo, that's peace right there, because a lot of heads don't have that parental support,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always wanted me to do. She always wanted me to do everything. She didn't want me. She wanted me to make sure I did attend to other things, but she also knew that this is what my passion was, and she respected that because my mom was a musician too. She sung, and she understood what it was, and she didn't get her opportunity to do it, so she had no problem making sure her child had what he could. She used to give me money for studio time and stuff when I was like 14.
Right.
That's how bad I wanted it. At that age.
Definitely. So fast forward, you're down with the winners. Now, who are the winners? Who are the members of the winners?
The original members is me, Hush, Smooth, Marvelous Mag, and then extended families like Sean Rosati, Sage Infinite, Al Davino, June Life, LA, she's out in UK, and amongst other cats that we run with from other countries, Giallo and Vic Grimes with their whole Crate Division squad out in London. But the mainly that's the home hub, that's the crew that we all started with back when we was doing open mics and shit out of LI. You know what I mean? That's how we ran it with each other.
Okay, so it started from open mics then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we used to do a live open mic out in what part of LI was it, man? It was like closer towards Roosevelt, that side.
Right.
And live tracks.
Right, was it Uniondale?
Yeah, I think it was around there. I remember I used to drive out there, go to the open mic, you know what I mean? But, I think I met Hush and them when they did a performance. I think me and Mag actually got up first. And then after that, me and Hush met in the lab and we started making music. And, we kind of kept real tight after that. And I think when I moved to Atlanta, he wanted to come to Atlanta. And I said, yo, come on, man. He came out here and fuck with me. And he got a show from You know, I said, yo, rock with me till you find a crib. You know, that's my man. And we started running around there. You know what I mean? But I was mostly running around because I don't think the Atlanta scene was really fun. Like, he didn't really mess with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he had to do what he had to do.
Right.
You know, and then when we moved out to California, I then took the opportunity to come out here with him. So we did the same thing just like that. You know what I mean?
Right. So let me ask you a question. This might be a delicate question, but was it Makami down with y'all first?
Mark Tommy and I go back early 2000s. I knew Mark from a long time ago through a mutual friend that knew him as a talented MC and brought him around. And me and Mark did a lot of music together in our beginning stages. He was on my first album, you know what I mean? I was on his first projects, and you know, and we used to run around selling CDs. You know, he knew all my friends. He came rock with me for a long time, you know. So, yeah, in general, you know, regardless of everything, you know, I know he's on pursuit of his dreams, so it's like, but, you know, that's still my man. I still love him. I know him too long not to love him, okay?
Right. You know what would be ill, though?
What you say now, brother?
I said, you know what would be really ill? A Griselda Winners Tour.
Yeah, man, that'd be a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? I didn't really realize that it was that much attention on us until that really happened. And it really put the spotlight. You see how the underground just kind of squeezed to a halt. You know, when that happened, and it was just like commentary everywhere. And it was like people were more disappointed because they, you know, in the end they saw us all doing music together, and it was like, this is dope. And then it's kind of like divided down the middle. You know what I'm saying? It could be so much more. You know what I mean? Like so much more, so bigger. You know, and then we could have really took the game and just locked it down for the whole New York. Like we could have been the crew that brought New York back hard.
Yo, y'all were bringing it back. Yeah, y'all were bringing it back. I mean, y'all were like, you know what I mean? The ultimate in that underground scene. Like, that hurt though, you know? But I will say this though. On your side of things, on the winner side of things, y'all handled it properly. I will say that. Y'all took the high road on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely was, I was definitely pro just letting it kind of fade out. You know, it kind of had its moments. And it was a little musically, yeah, we'll do it musically and maybe a little thoughts in here for listening to shit.
Right.
You know, but at the end of the day, it wasn't like no ill will. Like, I'm not going to talk about killing this man. I'm not going to talk about hurting this man or doing anything to his family and no crazy shit like that. You know what I mean? It just, at the end of the day, it's such a small misunderstanding that's basically blown out of proportion, but the only reason is that the two parties that have the issue haven't spoken. You know what I mean? So it's just going to keep going there, but at the end of the day, it was like, just wanted to say how we felt about it, and we left it at that. I didn't want to get into it talking about nobody or saying this or saying that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you're still coming at us, disrespectfully at that point, then, you know, that'll definitely make me not even participate no more, because it's not, you're taking it somewhere else, and that just shows your character of it.
Right.
So I'd rather just leave it alone. You know, we got bigger things to worry about. I ain't with all that negative shit.
Right. Most definitely. So as an MC, I feel you. But I hope y'all clear that up though, because that would be really, really dope. That tour.
Yeah.
That'd be really dope.
Like it too. I feel like just a project in general, like a big thing. You know, it'll be something for the streets, and people will be like, "Wow, this is dope." They actually put together some music and
Word.
And buried all the bullshit and kept it pushing. But you know, the only time will tell, bro.
Yeah, because I think y'all could get a lot of dough. I think y'all could get a lot of dough together, for real, because y'all both are like neck and neck, hot, same, similar sounds and everything. For real, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the thing that was the part that kind of confused me. I'm like, man, if everybody's popping, why try to dictate the divide and conquer route, or let me get them out the way so I could be the grand route, or whatever, or how you felt about whatever. Like, you know, could have been discussed, man, but it's not going to stop us from making music, and it's not going to stop us from getting out there and making sure people know what we do. Right. I hope for them brothers to get everything they deserve, man. I was very amazed by how fast ladies moved and pushing. I mean, it's dope, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I love it, you know, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, until cats really talk about it, you know, it's just going to be everybody having their feelings and their personal position. But until cats say, yo, you know what? Let's move on. Let's get back to it. Then, you know, then we give the people what they want. But for right now, I just rather keep it peace. And I ain't tripping on it. You know what I'm saying?
sure did. So, as an MC, what do you bring to the table as far as the winners? What's your role in the winners?
I'm probably the oldest one out of everybody. I'm the oldest one. I think what I bring is more of a personal invitation in my music. It's always a story or something personal that I put out. It's always more, I do rhyme to triple cast. I got it, but I got a lot of stories to tell. I got a lot of things to teach and try to reach people with. So I kind of take that route, as the one, that kind of diversity that can do a bunch of things. I'm not saying that other cats don't have their own strengths and weaknesses, as I have my weaknesses too. But I like to know that I do bring a multitude of different angles and different pieces of me that it makes it more personable and relatable. That means it's
Word. Yeah, because I could tell you're a little bit more mature just by like your content, Yeah, I could tell you a little bit more mature. You're not really with the bullshit like that. You know what I mean? You seem really smart.
Yeah, I just try to be myself as best I can be.
Right.
And I want people to take shots for the music. It's all good to be show your bravado and be braggadocious and all that, But at the same time, I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? I had that whole era in my life. That's what I was about. Now it's about leaving something that people could say, this guy, you could put him amongst the top dudes, and you could get the same feeling that you would get from anybody else,
Right.
And I ain't trying to be just looked at an underground MC. Like at this point, I'm just trying to be an MC that people can fuck with. You know what I mean? And judging by the way that we're doing things, it seems like everybody's been doing it right.
Right. Gotcha. All right. So moving forward, you got this new project, Channel 13, coming out. What's the concept behind the title? Is that some like back in the day, Channel 13, or what?
Yeah, I was looking at it like Channel 13 was always on TV. It was always like either public broadcasting or just an off-brand channel that people often look over. And then you look at just the number 13, like every building, apartment buildings don't have 13 floors. It's looked at like a bad number when it's really a good number. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I always thought of that like this album is not going to follow any preset notion of what MC's supposed to bring or what MCs have been bringing it. And I'm at a point where I'm comfortable with doing what I want. So I'd rather you just take something from it and the album be ultra visual, a lot of skit work, a lot of just composition, putting it together and arranging it the right way. I want it to be like it's just like you're getting so many mental pictures and vividness. I want it to just be a bunch of raps. You feel me?
Right.
Like people forget about that shit. I want people to relate to the music, feel it,
Well, I mean, it's only right because you from Long Island. That's how we do. De La Soul was the first to do the skits, and you know what I mean. And you from where they from, so it's only right that you know what I mean. You carry on that tradition of bringing something different to the table. Right. That's Li always did that. Li always did that.
Yeah, we always was a kind of
always
like setting the standard.
Right.
Like Rakim and everybody from Busta Rhymes to P.E. Prince Paul.
Yep.
KMD.
KMD.
Long Island effect.
Yeah.
KMD.
All of them. Yeah.
That effect that we kind of put on the game was like,
right.
We put the benchmark for cats to follow.
Exactly.
Understand? And that's really, and it's elite groups. These groups that you know about aren't mediocre. These are elite groups. Like De La Soul is elite, legendary.
Right.
Public Enemy, legendary. Rakim, legendary. Busta Rhymes, legendary. EPMD, legendary. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you can't discredit where we from and what we do as far as music. You know what I mean? If I get the opportunity to carry that torch again for Long Island, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll take it gladly.
Yeah, most definitely. So is this coming out independent, or you got a deal for this?
We're gonna mostly do the independent route. I'll probably just do a little management situation just to kind of open up doors and get it where it needs to be. So I'm not really looking to jump on nobody's label with it. I don't really need to, but I just want it to be where it gets the proper looks as far as opportunities for people that want to be a part of it or get on board, and then we'll go from there. But I want it to come out how I want it to come out now. You know what I mean? The way we've been doing it. Right. I don't need to feel like I got to jump up and get somebody to throw some money on it. We'll do our own thing. I like doing it my way. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Somebody tell me I got to change
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Not
So,
not at this point.
right. Now, do you have a release date?
I'm looking for late July.
Oh,
Late
okay.
July. I'm
Okay.
gonna drop a couple more videos and make sure I get the mastering and arranging done. And I got a couple more cats I want to work with.
Right.
So, and once I get those couple things done, then it's definitely gonna fly. I'm not gonna hold on to it at that point.
All right. Now, are you able to let me know what features you got on the project?
Yeah, I mean, I kept it pretty light. I mean, as far as features, I got Big Twin. Us, I got Smooth. I got Team. Very small, real little tones on there. We don't something out. But as far as production, I got a lot of art viewers. I got DJ Skays. And I got a lot of cats I frequently deal with on the underground scene that I just wanted to get them an opportunity to do their thing too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I really just looked at it like that. I didn't really care whose name it was, as long as it was hot. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got a cat on there that got a joint. He's 21 years old. You know what I mean? But the beat was fire. I said, I'm gonna go with it. So I'm gonna let him rock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that'd be like the first project you got is out his beat on. So it's not. I'm not looking for the names. I just want if it's dope, I'm messing with you. You know?
Right. So you got people like Big Twin on it, and you got a few established, semi-established names on it. Now, how does that work? Do you get charged for those features, or they just do it off the love?
Big Twin's my man. I talk to Twin all the time.
Yeah.
I've done mad songs with Twin for free. So when I asked him for a verse, he said no question. He literally had it done in about a day. You know what I mean? And that was literally he ain't even asked no question. So even Milano, just off the strength was like, I got you. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So that's how we working right now. We ain't on that other shit. We just trying to make good music. I'm trying to get one more feature. Probably I was talking to Ali Vegas, and he's kind of like he's interested in doing some joints. So I'll probably get a joint with Ali Vegas on there, man. And if I get Ali Vegas on there, I think I'll be ready to close it out because that's a dude I've been listening to for a long time.
Yeah, that's what's up.
We're on the same age, so you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Big Twin live down here in Charlotte now too. Yeah. I'm supposed to be linking up with him to do a video interview. You know what I mean?
Word. That's that dude, man. He's a cool brother, man. He's one of the coolest cats I know that's established that I've listened to other than Planet Asia and Aguilar. These dudes just like cool guys, man. They like really want to see motherfuckers win.
Right.
That's coming up under them. It ain't about them trying to outshine you. They want to see you win. Like they want to see the new cats get on. Not like most motherfuckers that try to hold the crown. Like they can't. Like your time ain't coming. We might as well just set up somebody else and let them shine off you. Like
Right.
And I'm not saying that nobody's career is over or anything. It's so much talent. Why not give everybody a shot?
Right. True indeed. Now we know this hip hop game. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Now, is hip hop solely paying your bills, or do you have a 9 to 5, or do anything else to get to survive?
I mean, I work for Apple, so I work from home. I do a little programming, a little digital stuff, and that's kind of where I just made it where I can make all my money from the computer. I don't go to nobody's job. I don't get in nobody's office. I don't dress up for nothing. I just sit at a computer, and that's how I make a living. And then most of the music I don't put out, I get my little royalties every quarter, and I'm good.
Right. Gotcha. Because I was just wondering, like, how are brothers making money nowadays, being that people don't buy records no more. Like, I was just wondering how that game works, and I see a lot of brothers come out and they get all these big these established features, and I'm wondering, like, yo, do they gotta pay for these features? How does that work? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely and everybody has their own way to make their living, man.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what they're doing and how they what they gotta do to make their bread. Because as long as you're keeping it funky, man, like you ain't never hear me talk about nothing. So, I don't be fighting like that for what.
Right. Word. So got you. Definitely. So you got any upcoming tours, any upcoming shows popping off? What's good?
We actually working through the summer. We got a couple things coming in with PA. We got a couple things setting up with us.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably be jumping out on stage with a couple cats pretty soon. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Right. Got you.
Summertime is showtime.
Right. So how can other producers or up and coming beat makers submit beats to you?
You can basically reach out to me at my email is basically ghostguardg. Well, it's spelled kind of crazy. It's GHXSTGXD@gmail. Or you can just follow me on my Twitter and just DM me, man. I'm always available, always respond. You know, Rozewood, you can always hit me on Instagram, whatever. Just hit me up, man. You got some heat. That's how I get a lot of my beats. Twitter and Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Definitely. Yo, I want to thank you for taking the time, to chop it up with me. Because, I know you on the grind and all of that. And, I'm just a dude that's running a little blog out my apartment,
Right, it's all love, man. I got no problem showing some love, man, because you showing me love, too.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
So, it's definitely all love. If you're from the hood, it's all good, baby. I'm spreading that love all the time.
That's the LI way. That's the Strong Island way. You already know.
Yeah, and when it's up and running, just let me know, and we can, post the interview, and I'll retweet it, and I'll send it out, and we keep it going, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what's up. But, yo, I'm going to sign off, yo. Thanks a lot, my brother.
All right, brother. Be safe tonight. Enjoy your week.
All right, you too.
Just holler at me.
That's what it is. Peace.
Peace, bro.
Hip hop to the core, boom baptized.